Okay, I'm warning you right now that this video is 30 minutes of me just talking. I'm not doing any ride-alongs, just talking so if you don't want to hear me talking for 30 minutes, just don't even watch any more of the video. I'm going to save you this trouble. Just skip on to the next video. But if you want to hear, or you want to have hear my opinion and what I have to say about it, and, I'm going to read an article on this whole thing, then stay tuned. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Joeezy. Welcome to another edition of Joeezy Delivers. Long-time viewers, welcome back, many viewers. Welcome to the channel. Okay, today is Friday, baby. Oh, I haven't done let me do the Friday song. Hold up. It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, yeah. It's Friday.
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what?
Okay, Friday. All right, I did the song, my bad. And look, I have a ride along that I was gonna post tonight, but I'm like, you know what? Let me. I've been wanting to talk about this subject for the last few days since it was announced, and I haven't been doing it because I've been doing other things, bro. But you know what? I need to release this video while it's still hot, in the press before it dies out and nobody wants to talk about it anymore. It's the new rule that the Biden administration wants to do about classifying independent contractors, aka the gig works, as employees. All right. So I'm gonna read an article let's read an article together on CNBC. This is gonna be a CNBC article. I'm not gonna get any other article because you already know how it is. CNBC is not a political, company. I guess it's only financial. They only talk about politics when it has to do with a company, a private company, public. So this is kind of like more in the middle. So it says here, Biden administration issues rule that could curb gig work contracting. And I'm going to tell you guys in the end what I think about it, what I think caused it, or, this and that. The U.S. Department of Labor on Tuesday issued a final rule that will force companies to treat some workers as employees rather than less expensive independent contractors, in a move that has riled business groups and will likely prompt legal challenges. The rule is widely expected to increase labor costs for industries that rely on contract labor or freelancers, such as trucking, manufacturing, healthcare, and app-based gig services. Most federal and state laws, such as those requiring a minimum wage and overtime pay, apply only to a company's employees. Studies suggest that employees can cost companies up to 30% more than independent contractors. And this is knowing the fact that these gig app companies already do not make any money, like in net profit is what I'm trying to say. Their revenues are going up. Yes, they're making more sales, more orders are going out, they're charging people more money, they're paying their gig workers less money. So yes, the revenue is going up, but net profit is going down, in total. And that has to do with a lot of fixed expenses and variable expenses and things like office expenses, like marketing and stuff, like, they're marketing other things and stuff like that. So if you get all that revenue, subtract it with all the expenses that they do, they're losing money. Net profit, normally, they have been losing money. Uber, I think, is the only app that it have finally made a slight profit. The rule will require that workers be considered employees rather than contractors when they are economically dependent on a company. Oh, I did not read this. The rule will require that workers be considered employees rather than contractors when they are economically dependent on a company. So, like me, I'm dependent on these companies. So if I'm dependent on these companies, then I'm going to have to be classified as employees. But if you're doing it on the side, like if you have a 9-to-5 job and you're doing this on the side, you will not be classified as an independent contractor. As an employee, you'll be classified as an independent. So basically, if you're working a 9-to-5 job and you apply for one of these apps, when you're classifying it, they're gonna I'm assuming they're gonna ask you, hey, are you doing this on the side? How many hours do you plan on doing this? I'm pretty sure this is the question they're gonna ask you when you're applying. How many hours do you plan on doing this? If you say like less than 5 hours, less than 10 hours, or whatever they decide the time is, less than full time, I guess maybe 24 hours. I don't know. People could live off of 24 hours. Less than that, we're gonna be working that. If you put, I'm gonna be working less than 20 hours, then you will be classified as an independent contractor. If you're working more than 20 hours, which in that case you're depending on it, then you will be classified as an employee. That's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming this, guys. But I read this right now because I had already read this article, but I wanted to read it again. I'm going to read it again with you guys, but I didn't read that. That's a thing to consider. It does not go as far as wage laws in California and other states that place even greater limitations on independent contracting. It replaces a regulation by Republican former President Donald Trump's administration that had made it easier to classify workers as independent contractors. The new rule is likely to be challenged in court by trade and businesses. So under the Trump era rule, workers who owned their own businesses or had the ability to work for competing companies, such as a driver who works for both Uber Technologies and Lyft, could be treated as contractors. The new rule is set to take effect on March 11th. So I'm not sure if this is gonna be already in place or it's something that they have to hear it first before it goes into place. But here it says the new rule is set to take place March 11th. I don't know, guys. People are saying they're challenging it, they're gonna challenge it and this and that. People have to vote for it. I'm not saying here about voting for this. It seems like it's gonna happen. I'm not trying to scare you guys, for real, but I'm actually reading this now. I'm like, bro, is this really gonna happen on March 11th? Acting U.S. Labor Secretary Julie Su, during a call with reporters on Monday, said the misclassification of workers as contractors rather than employees particularly harms low-income workers who would benefit the most from legal protections afforded to employees, such as minimum wage and unemployment insurance. A century of labor protections for working people is premised on the employer-employee relationship, Su said. But according to some business groups, the rule tips the scale too far in favor of finding that workers are employees rather than contractors, which will deprive millions of workers of flexibility and opportunity. Making matters worse, the rule is completely unnecessary as the department continues to report success in cracking down on bad actors that are misclassifying workers, said Mark Friedman, vice president at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, in a statement. He added that the chamber, the largest U.S. business group, is considering challenging the rule in court. The Labor Department has said the rule. Look, there's ducks over here, bro. Look, check this out. We got people here wanting food, but I don't have food for you guys, man. How are you guys doing? I haven't showed you guys in a long time in my videos. How are you doing? You look fantastic. Yeah, drink that water. You look very fantastic, guys. You guys look amazing. Oh my goodness. I will give you guys a hug if I could. All right. Back to the thing. He added that the chamber, the largest U.S. business group, is considering challenging the rule in court. I already said that. The Labor Department has said the rule was designed to crack down on industries, including construction and healthcare, where misclassification of workers is common. But its potential impact on app-based delivery services. Hold on, let me put this back real quick. I'm going to reread the sentence. But its potential impact on app-based delivery and ride-hailing services whose business model depend on contract gig labor has garnered the most attention. Companies including Uber and Lyft have expressed concerns about the rule, but also have said they do not expect it to lead to their drivers being classified as workers. You know why I think the Uber and Lyft will not be like that? Because I think most people, they work full-time anyway. Like, only few people work Uber and Lyft like as a side gig, I think. I'm not sure. CR, Reuters, Uber's head of federal affairs, said in a statement that the new rule does not materially change the law under which we operate. All right? Drivers across the country have made it overwhelmingly clear in their comments on this new rule and in survey after survey that they do not want to lose the unique independence they enjoy, Reuters said. The Labor Department said it will consider factors such as workers' opportunity for profit and loss, the degree of control wielded by a company over a worker, and whether the work is an integral part of the company's business to determine whether a worker should be classified as an employee or a contractor. Business groups have said the long list of factors that could determine a worker's classification will create confusion and inconsistent results, which in turn could spur costly class actions alleging that workers were misclassified. So I think that once you sign up for these apps and they have to ask you, yo, are you trying to do this on the side or what? Like, talk to me on the list of questions. are you planning on working? Because I think Uber and all that, I think they ask you that stuff. I think that's why Uber, it won't be as strict, because I remember, I think Uber, they do ask you, oh, how much do you plan on, how many hours do you plan on working a week, doing this stuff? And then I don't know what I put, but I think with their data, with Uber and Lyft's data, they see that most people put more than 40 hours or more than 30 hours or something like that. So super or like hyper part-time. Part-time in the USA is 32 hours or more. 32 hours or more is considered, yeah. Full-time is 40 for sure. But the thing, I always get confused between 32 hours and 40. Like 32 hours is that, 32 hours and less is part-time, and then 32 hours and more is full-time, I think. All right, with that being said, I just read the article. I'm not sure. It seems like it's gonna be, I thought they had to vote for it, but this is CNBC. They're saying that the rule is set to take effect on March 11th. So, you know what? No, they're gonna challenge it. This is what's gonna happen. This is March 11th. We're already we're still in January 12th. So they have like 2 months to fight it, is what I'm saying. So they have until March 11th to fight it and win. And if they don't win, then it's going to happen on March 11th. Now, my opinion, the Joeezy opinion on this, you guys already know. I do not want to be having to work. DoorDash is already becoming one of those apps where, like, if you don't accept orders, you won't be on schedule. So you can't work whenever you want unless you're accepting all these bad orders. So that's already kind of steering towards the, you have to take these orders. If not, you don't have any work. Like, that's kind of like the business model. They're making you work, even if you don't like the job, because they're like, bro, I have to be platinum status to be able to get work, because if not, I won't get any work. So it's like, you can't work whenever you want type stuff. You know what I'm saying? With Uber Eats, and I think that's why Uber Eats, they're good. Uber Eats and Uber rideshare, you could log in whenever you want and log off whenever the heck you want, and you'll be good. That's the type of model I would like. But I don't want to be like how it is in New York. It is $30 an hour in New York, which is a very high earning. It's a lot of money, man. $30 an hour to deliver some food, not even groceries. Bro, I'm getting paid $20 to deliver like all these cases of water. Imagine the groceries, guys. Imagine the groceries. Oh my goodness. I mean, food, bro. $30 an hour. But I know the pros and cons, and what's the bad stuff that's gonna happen when this rule becomes into place. It's already oversaturated, guys. Already in Miami, Florida, it is oversaturated with people. Now, if you start telling people, yo, you can make $30 an hour doing this, you know how many people are gonna quit their jobs? I know this is gonna happen for a fact. Another thing, actually, I'll talk about that later. Okay, a lot of people, they want to be able they have been fighting for this. So people are saying, like, maybe the Biden administration is saying, like, yo, that's what people want. People want benefits. They want hourly overtime pay, and then they want all this and that. Obviously, because the people are fighting for it, they want to get paid more, which, bro, we all want to get paid more money, guys. We all want to get paid more money. But these people are fighting, I think, that these people are fighting for this because they want to get paid, like so much money, guys. Like, they want a high base pay. They want to get paid $50 to go 1 mile. Pretty much, they want to get paid $100 an hour. I'm exaggerating, but they want to get paid all this money per hour, right? Okay, and they also want to get a tip on top of that. So they want to get paid $100 to deliver some food, and then they get offended when the customer doesn't tip. So they're like, nah, I'm not doing this because I want to get a tip too. So they want to get paid $100 plus another $50 for the customer to tip. So they kind of want to have it both ways, and that's why they want to have, like, they want to get paid so much money to do the least amount of work, is what I have been talking about it. I talk about it here and there. People want to get paid the most amount of money with the least amount of work, which, bro, I'm doing the same thing. That's why I'm doing YouTube, so I could have to work these gig apps less, and make more money while I'm sleeping type money. But when it comes to these gig apps and all that stuff, and these companies having to pay us, they're already not making money. So for them to pay us even more money, like, there's gonna be some exchanges going on, Like in New York, they said, look, we're gonna pay you $30 an hour, but we're not gonna tell the customer to tip until after, because, like it or not, bro, a lot of people don't talk about this, man. But when the customer, pretend you're a customer, right? And you're going there in New York. You have to pay all these fees. Like in New York and California, they charge you all these crazy fees. Like, oh, fee this and fee that. So you order a number one at McDonald's. It ends up being $10 plus like a $10 fee, and then a $5 delivery fee, and then it ends up being like a $50 order for one meal. And then in the end, it tells you, oh, would you like to tip your driver? It's like, bro, after all these fees, I gotta tip my driver? Another, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're already seeing this list of fees. Fee this, fee that, bah. And then in the end, because the tip is always in the end. It's not always, it's not in the beginning. If you go to order anything online, you see all the fees first. And then you see, so when they see the price already so high, and then you gotta add the tip after, bro, who's gonna wanna order anymore, man? So that's why New York is telling people, yo, you can't tip until later, because we don't want to be scaring off. We don't want to be scaring off these people to not order the delivery services, because if you scare them off, then there's no work for us to do. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of people say, bro, you gotta get the food yourself if you're too cheap to buy it. Why? Why do we have to tell customers, bro, just get it yourself? Why? Don't we want people to order from the app? If they don't tip, then the app will raise the base pay, right? And if they do tip, the app won't raise the base pay. But you can't have a high base pay and a high tip at the same time, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. Let's go. I gotta go crazy in this video, man. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So the reason why I think that this is happening already in the first place is, all right, inflation happened, right? This is why I think it happened. I think it happened because when COVID started, the stock market crashed for like a month, and then it just went back up in like. It recovered, and I was looking at this chart right now, in July. So it crashed in March when they closed the country, and then the stock market recovered like in July, September, and then it just kept going up and up and up. And you're thinking, bro, everybody's at home. Everybody's at home. Why is the stock market going up? What's going on? Why? The stock market is being manipulated. You know what it was? I knew it. All right, there's a lot of things. The first thing which we figured out a few years later is the Bitcoin scandal. Everybody became millionaires buying and selling Bitcoin. So a lot of new millionaires were born with Bitcoin. The whole Bitcoin scandal. A lot of millionaires. So that's where one of the money was coming from. Another thing, everybody was at home. So everybody became a content creator. So they started making money on YouTube and all these apps. YouTube was booming. Everybody became a YouTuber. So people that would otherwise not have made any money became millionaires. All these kids at home making TikTok dancing videos became millionaires overnight. Making videos, doing nothing else. That's another reason, I think, in my opinion. So everybody became a content creator. So everybody became millionaires. You know what I'm saying? And you still had your people that worked in the office, but they worked from home. So there's that. Yes, a lot of people lost their jobs. Unfortunately. But I think a lot of those guys that did lose their jobs, they went on to, to do videos because there was nothing else. And then they got a stimulus check, which that stimulus check was, bro, people even 4 years later, people talking about, oh, the stimulus check. Yo, how long did that stimulus check last you? It lasted you like what? It paid for a month of rent or two. You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing. That's number two. So number one, the Bitcoin scandal, which happens. That's what happens when you just let these financial companies and all these private companies, they do whatever they want. They start scamming things. The government's supposed to protect us from this, and they did not protect us from it. Their job is to basically save us from, outside, from with the military, save us from getting attacked, and also from all these frauds. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people lost their money with the Bitcoin fraud. The government didn't help us. They're supposed to, and I was listening on CNBC, and they're saying that they should have known this when they were giving their financials and all this stuff to to the SEC and all that, they should have known. They should have seen, like, yo, what's up with these inflated accounts? Like, where is this money coming from? That was the main thing. Where is this money coming from? It wasn't coming from anywhere, guys. It was being created. You know, it's a huge Ponzi scheme. So that happened. All right, so there's that. And then the third, so I already told you guys, the Bitcoin scandal, everybody becoming a content creator, making money out of it. The third one is the delivery apps. The delivery apps. People starting doing deliveries. Let's do deliveries here and there. Deliveries. So if you didn't have a job, and if you got fired, then you do deliveries, and that's what. And you know, so basically, that's what happened. Like, people that did lose a job, so the stock market went up. You know, companies were making record profits and all that stuff because there was still money to be made. People were still making money. Either that. Okay. Now, if you fast forward a little bit, you know, the gig economy has come to a point to where it has become a mafia. I don't know if I should have said that, but like, people are using different accounts, different social security numbers. Now the question is, I have not confirmed how this works, man. I have to go to my local Costco and ask them, but if I go and ask them, then they're gonna think that I'm gonna snitch. I'm not gonna snitch on nobody. But how do you have 3 phones using an Instacart account? I never understood, how did they get like those accounts? I know you could rent accounts, but those rented accounts, where did they get to social? Where? Let's say, I mean, some people said that it's from like dead people's social security accounts. I don't know. Let's say, because that's a huge conspiracy theory. Let's say they're alive. And let's say it's a grandma. So I have my uncle's account, my mom's account, my grandma's account. And then my mom and grandma and uncle, mom, grandma, and uncle, they have or my grandma's retired. My mom and uncle all have their job doing something else. They're doing something, right? They have their own job. And then me, the gig worker, I'm using her and his social security number to do the gig apps. So now my mom and my uncle has 2 incomes. The job that she has, and then the gig apps. But I'm not. So that's like double or triple the money that is being made right now at that point. So, you know, everyone's making money. That's another reason why I think the stock market, or not the stock, the stock market blew up. It recovered so fast because everybody's making money here and there, like doing like all this money being made. So those accounts are being crazy. Now the question is, why does the government care? You know, because if you make more than $600 a month, or a year, then you have to report that as income. Now the question is, is the government even doing the job at, you know, saying, okay, this social security number has more than $600 in income? Are you trying to like verify that it's true or not true? Or I don't know. A lot of people saying that people are not paying taxes at all because, like, people that don't have any papers and stuff like that, they have all these accounts and rented accounts. Let's say that's true, right? You know, we got people coming in and they have 3 phones. None of their okay, look, there are people that have bots that have their own accounts. So that's fine. You have your own account and one phone, one bot. That's it. But there's people with 3 phones, you know, 3, 4 phones. Like, I saw the guy a few weeks ago with 2 Uber accounts and 2 phones. Now it's like, is it his account and his mom's account or his brother's account? You know what I'm saying? So let's say the government doesn't, you know, let's say that's true, right? That person's not paying any taxes. Well, that person with the social security number should in theory be paying taxes, if you think about it, or at least reporting it. And then you have all these deductions, whatever I know a lot of people, because there's a guy at my job, or my previous job when I was an accountant, that he said, oh yeah, I have my own company. And then he's like, yeah, I write off my truck and I write off my daughter's school, my daughter's daycare, and then the vacation that I went to. I'm like, yo, why are you writing all this off for your business? He's like, oh yeah, I end up getting paid like $10,000 a year in the end anyway. And I'm like, yo, how are you gonna report all this stuff and you don't get audited? How do you not get flagged? How do you not get flagged? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. So all right, they should be reporting. The people's social security number, where that social security number is making more than $600, is being reported. All right, now let's do another scenario. Now that I thought about it right now, Amazon and all these big companies, Apple, they don't pay any taxes. All these rich billionaires, they don't pay taxes because they write off everything as, a business expense. That's fine. That's been happening for a long time. Well, is it because a lot more people in the lower class, not in the up, but in the lower, are doing the same thing? Like let's say you make $100,000 in Uber and Lyft, or Uber and DoorDash, and you write off all these expenses, and you end up paying like $1,000 or nothing because you have all these write-offs. All right. Well, the government's not getting paid any money. They're not getting any revenue because or they are, but almost nothing. Now the question is, are they auditing these people or what? Instead of doing what they're doing now, why don't you start auditing some people? I don't know. No. You know what? Let me not say that. No, don't do that. Okay. I don't know. All right, two more things before I end this video. I forgot to mention it. The first thing is the photo verification. When you have to take a picture of yourself to verify that you're the person, why doesn't it work? That's the question. Why does it not work? When you first sign up for any of these apps, you have to take a picture of your driver's license because you have to be able to drive, right? You have to be able to drive, doing deliveries, and that license has your face on it and your name and your face. So when someone has like a different account or whatever, how are they able to verify their face? You know what I'm saying? Like I never really understood how that worked, and I would like to know how it works. I mean, but all right. The second thing, the $600 that I was mentioning earlier, I didn't really explain it too much. The $600. These apps, if you make at least $600 on any of these apps, by law, these apps are required to file or to report to the IRS that you made at least $600. So if you made $10,000, you have to report this to the IRS. So the IRS knows how much people are making or how much each social security number is making, right? So the question is, if the IRS knows how much these social security numbers are making, why do they not verify? Like, for example, if I'm using my mom's social security number, my mom's working a full-time job and she's making $2,000 a week on Instacart, why can't the IRS verify, hey, it's kind of like a mismatch, because that's how you get flagged. When you make like six figures, like $100,000, and you don't have any, well, I mean, there's mismatches, there's things that you get flagged, right? But when you're working a full-time job and you're making $2,000 on these apps, it's kind of weird how you're able to work a full-time job and still make $2,000 a week on Instacart or any of these other apps. That's one question. Like, why can't the IRS start kind of researching this and stuff like that? I'm gonna tell you why I think that they rather do it this route, the route where you're classified as an employee, because for the people that say, oh, why don't you work at McDonald's? You get paid more money. They fail to realize that they're like, oh, why don't you work, get a real job, work at McDonald's. You get paid at least $15 an hour. Yeah, you get paid $15 an hour before taxes. They take away taxes. So you end up making a lot less than $15 an hour. So they take away those taxes. Those taxes go straight to the IRS. Now, right now, what I think that the government wants to do is that they don't want to do any paperwork. I think. I don't know. It could be the thing where they don't want these people to be writing off all these expenses. They if it's the rich people doing it, they don't really care because it's only the rich. But when the middle class, which is the majority of the United States, that's a lot of money that the government is losing. So instead of doing their due diligence and going through every social security number and say, hey, look, this is kind of weird, they're gonna make these apps take away taxes from us. So if I make $1,000 a week, they're gonna take away like $200 just in taxes. It's gonna go straight to the government. And then let's say my mom or my uncle's social security number has $200 sent to the government because it was taken away. Well, if my mom or my uncle doesn't want to file taxes, to get a refund, because when you work a full-time job as an employee, you technically you get a refund at the end of the year. Well, I don't know how that works. Let's say you're supposed to get a refund and you do not file your taxes. What's the ramifications? Can you go to jail? Like, what happens? Well, I think the government knows that a lot of these people are probably not going to file their taxes because they don't know that their social security number is being used to do these apps. But the government's like, you know what? I don't really care because I've been taking money from you this whole year. So if you don't want a refund, then that's on you, buddy. I think is what's going on. So they're gonna make it on the apps to have to take taxes away from us. and that goes straight to the government. The government's happy because they're making money. Now the apps are gonna have to eat up some way to find a way to make get us paid an hourly salary, and then that's gonna make it worse for us because do we have to use our own cars? Because we have to use our own cars, our own gas, and our own expenses. So how is that gonna work? You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's enough. All right, my people. You know what? I'm not gonna continue on because this video might be. You already know. I talk about when I start talking about something, I can go on for an hour talking about it. So I'm not gonna drag this any further. I'm trying to think about what else I can think about to tell you guys, but I might have something, but I'll probably remember after I'm done with this video. But you know what? That's what it is right there. That's the new law that may take into effect March 11th of 2024. If they don't fight it and win, that's what's gonna happen, guys. Now, with that being said, let's see what happens from now until then. Don't forget to smash that like button to help me grow over the YouTube world. And if you like this video and you want to watch future videos, me doing deliveries, just subscribe on my people. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. It's your boy Tweezy. Let's go.